April 19, 2023, and here are my free 3 best bets for you. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another video for you right here on DOIF Bets, where I am trying to help you make money every single day. Yesterday, we had a pretty good day right here. We couldn't sweep the board. Disappointed. KD let us down, but we finished the day 2-1. We got Malcolm Brogdon points, easy cash winner. Our two-team steamer plus 100 parlay hit, but then we lose to Durant assists on the hook. That's real disappointing. So 2-1 day. You can see our overall record right here so far. We're doing all right, and let's keep the momentum going today. And as always, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to our first 100 subscribers. So please share this video with somebody who's into betting or who just wants to get a little bit more knowledge at some of the games and picks that I'm liking. So this way we can be able to help you out. And as always, my other best bets are inside of my Telegram group. The link is below. Feel free to join that as well. So this way I can continue to help you make money, and let's get after it today. Let's go. All right, for my first best bet of the day, I like Chris Middleton over 23.5 points. The odds right now are minus 104 on FanDuel. Now listen, the Bucks, they said they're optimistic that Giannis will play despite the back injury that he suffered at the beginning of game 1. We saw this Bucks team completely unravel without Giannis, and the Heat, listen, they took advantage of that, and they should have. But today, I'm a little bit worried because I don't know if Giannis is playing or not. They said that he's going to go, but even if he does play, he's certainly not going to be at 100%. So that's why in the NBA, you got to have a Robin to go with the Batman. It's so important for these championship teams and these contenders, and that's where Chris Middleton comes into play, right? Chris Middleton, he's the Robin to Giannis's Batman, and we've seen him step up in critical times in the past, and we're going to need him to do the same here. Now, in game 1, he stepped up with 33 points despite the loss, and I expect to see a repeat performance today. Now, I wish I could give you a bunch of stats to back this pick up like I usually do, but I really can't because Middleton was pretty banged up all year, and his stats are not what we usually are used to seeing from him. And I also think that because of the deep depth that the Bucks have, they didn't put a lot of pressure on him during the regular season to perform that well. But now we're in the playoffs, and the pressure is on. So because of that, this is solely a situational play. And in his career, Middleton, in 70 playoff games, he's averaging about 20 points per game. So he's getting just around this number. And I would wait a little bit closer to game time just to see if Giannis plays or not, because this line might drop a point or two if he does play, but I still like it regardless if he plays or not, because like I said, Giannis is going to be banged up. We need Middleton to step up, and he's their go-to scorer. Him and Jrue Holiday are really the only guys on this team who can go out and really get a bucket if they need to. So I really like the fact that Middleton is going to have to step up because there's going to have to be somebody who scores the ball. In both games this year that he shot the ball over 20 times, which he shot it over 20 times in game 1, he has gone over this total and actually scored 30 points. So the volume should be there. Middleton should get the shots up. He just needs to convert them and hit them, and I expect him to go over this today. So give me Chris Middleton over 23.5 points as my first bet of the day. But like I said, wait a little bit longer just to see if Giannis plays or not, because you could get it at a little bit of better value. For my second best bet of the day, we're going over to the MLB. MLB's been hot for us, so hopefully we can keep that going and keep the streak alive here. And I'm going to the Mets on the money line, but I'm taking them in the first 5. The odds are about minus 130 right now on FanDuel. So we've got a nice pitching matchup today between Scherzer and Syndergaard, and I really like the Mets in this one. Now, Scherzer, he has not been that sharp as we're used to seeing in terms of his pitching and his dominance to start the year, but I think that could be a mixture of a few things. One is age. I mean, let's be honest, Scherzer's up there. He's a little bit older, but I also think I have to blame the pitch clock a little bit for this as well. The Scherzer, he's one of those pitchers in years past who takes his time on the mound, stares down the batter, gets into a rhythm, disrupts the batter in terms of length of time between pitches. So I really have seen that this pitch clock has affected him a little bit, but I saw last game that he had a really good bounce back effort, and I'm expecting that to continue into this game. Now, in his last matchup against the Padres, he went 5 innings. He gave up no runs. He had 1 hit and 5 strikeouts. That's what I want to see, and I want to see him carry that momentum into this Dodgers matchup. On the other side for Syndergaard, it's really hard to back this guy, and it's really hard for me to even not fade him at times. Like, I always like to fade him, truthfully. In his last 10 innings of work over his last 2 starts, he's given up 14 base hits, 9 earned runs, and 3 home runs. And that's not what you want to see, especially against a lineup like the Mets, who can come at you with a whole bunch of different attack weapons, whether it's Alonso hitting the long ball, whether it's Lindor getting a few hits in there as well. So it's really tough to compete with that. Now, also, Syndergaard depends very heavily on his strikeouts and ground balls, and we know that the Mets are one of the best teams at making a pitcher work and limiting the strikeouts. So Scherzer coming off a strong start, Syndergaard trending in the opposite direction, the Mets offense looking to bounce back after being shut out last night against Kershaw. I'm really liking them here. So I'm taking the Mets in the first 5 as I just want to go starter versus starter. Now, I don't have a problem taking the full game as well, but there's no need to depend on the bullpens here. Last night, the Mets pitched 4 guys out of the bullpen. So there's no need to put an extra pressure on this in terms of getting a blown save or a blown lead. So let's just go with the first 5 because the value is typically the same. Sometimes I'll go to the full game if the first 5 is like a lot more expensive than the full game. But right now, the odds are pretty much similar to the same. So because of that, let's go with the Mets on the money line. First 5, even though I do think they'll win the overall game as well. Now, for my last best bet of the day, you guys know I'm going with the value pick. Now, this pick here, I've actually started putting out my plus 100 bets as also my ladder challenge. You guys have been following the betting community. You know that the ladder challenge has been something that a lot of people have been doing, where they've been trying to take $10 and turn it into $10K in just 10 days. So yesterday, I made that, checking my TikTok for this, because yesterday's parlay that I put out was my first leg of my ladder challenge. So I put $10 on that one cash. So for today, I'm looking to double it back, $20 to win $40. So this way we can double our money each step of the way. And in 10 days, hopefully we will get to 10K. So for my parlay of the day, my 2-team steamer, I'm going with the Nuggets on the money line, the Cardinals on the money line, and that gets us to right at plus 100 odds. Now, the Nuggets looked really good in game 1, and I expect them to do the same thing tonight and defend the home court. Now, the odds on the Nuggets money line are obviously juiced, right, because of the spread. And right now, when I'm making this video, there are no alternative lines out on my book, but I would take this at like minus 2.5, minus 3.5. So this way you can get a little bit of extra value, get a little bit of extra odds. So if you're looking at this a little bit later, you can drop that in there as well, just like juice it up a little bit, because the alternative lines will probably be out there. Now, the Wolves, they're a young team, and they truthfully don't have all the pieces to compete with the Nuggets team. Completely got dominated in that first matchup. And truthfully, Karl-Anthony Towns, he's going to have to be better if Timberwolves expect to stand any chance in this game or at all in this series, because truthfully, I think they get swept. Going 5 for 15 from the field is not going to get it done, Karl-Anthony Towns. So I'm calling you out right now, because you were talking all that, talking about, oh, I'm back, yada, yada, yada. All right, we need to see it, okay? And, the thing that really impressed me in the Nuggets last game is that they had a lot of a balanced scoring, and they attacked you from all different angles. All 5 starters finished in double digits in terms of scoring, led by Jamal Murray with 24. So I know there's some reports out right now that Jokic's wrist is banged up, but he said that he's good. He said that he expects to go tonight. So because of that, I expect it to be another convincing win for the Nuggets here. So you can take them on the money line, but like I said, if you do have some alternative lines, you can maybe juice them up a little bit. Maybe 1 or 2 possessions. I wouldn't go much higher than that on a parlay as my first leg of the 2-teamer. Now, in the second leg of the 2-teamer, I'm really liking the Cardinals because, like I said, with Noah Syndergaard, who's kind of like an automatic fade for me, this guy on the mound for the Diamondbacks is an automatic fade, and that's Madison Bumgarner. Anytime he pitches, I go the opposite side. It's hard to believe that this guy was one time a 3-time World Series champion with the Giants, because over the past few years, especially since he signed with the Diamondbacks, he's just not been the same. He doesn't have the control that he used to, and he gives up a lot of walks. And his last start against the Marlins, he gave up 9 hits, 5 earned runs. And if you know anything, like the Marlins, their offense is not really the best. So to give up that type of numbers against the Marlins, it's saying something. Now, let's be honest. The Cards have not been the best either, especially with runners in scoring position. They leave a lot of guys on the base paths, but I believe they're still strong enough to get us the win here. They've been strong against left-handed pitching all year. They're 10th lowest in strikeouts in terms of against left-handed pitchers, and they're also top 10 in team OPS against left-handers as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Woodford on the mound for the Cards, but he should be able to hold it down for us enough, and the Cards bat should be able to make up the difference here against Bumgarner, like I mentioned. So give me the Cardinals on the money line. Pair that with the Nuggets on the money line, or the Nuggets teamed up a little bit. That should get us to plus 100 odds or a little bit higher. And that is my value pick, the ladder challenge day 2 pick of the day. And that's my third best bet. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully we could sweep the board. I've been saying that, and yesterday we came so close. Durant hooked us, man. I was so excited. I was ready. I saw him get the fifth assist. I was like, we need one more. But today I feel really good. I did 2 baseball plays, really, and only 1 NBA play, because since NBA hasn't been too well for us. So hopefully we can sweep the board today, and we can cash in. And as always, make sure that you're following me. Make sure you're liking, comment, and subscribing. I want to see the plays that you're taking. Share this with a few people, as we're trying to get the subscriber numbers up on this new channel. So as always, let's make some money today and dictate your fate. Let's get after it. Let's go.